Hello and welcome to Shauna Stitches podcast. This is episode number 47 and it is January the 26th. I seriously cannot believe that January is almost over already. Thank you so much for those of you who are returning and new viewers as well. I noticed I have quite a few new subscribers and I believe most of that is probably due to Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn giving me a shout out. So thank you, Leslie. And if you haven't watched her podcast, I highly recommend that you go watch her. She is literally one of my favorites. I love her sense of humor. What else did I want to say in my intro? Oh, you can find me on Ravelry under Shauna Stitches. I also have a podcast group called Shauna Stitches Podcast. And there we have a knit along going called West Cal 2020. That's the hashtag. And it's to knit any West Knits pattern that you want to knit in any yarn that you want to use. And there's a chatter thread and a finished object thread. I'm not going to say a lot about that. I will link down below the threads that have all the instructions and whatnot. But just a side note, I did have to delete a comment in the finished object thread because someone was chattering back about how much they like it. So I've noticed that people are only posting their finished object in the finished object thread. So it's really great if you would post it in both places. It doubles your chances of winning prizes, but it also allows people to comment back on your project. So just a thought. All right. Oh, you can also find me on Instagram, Shauna Stitches there. And yes, everything will be down below. All right. Let's just jump right in. I have a finished object. Can you believe that? This is there's the back of it. There we go. This is I think it's called Rikke Hat, R-I-K-K-E. Rikke, I'm not sure. As I was showing you, there is the seam up the back. Because this is knit in the round garter, so you knit a row, purl a row. The purling was a bit of a pain in the butt, but I am not confident with seaming. And maybe that would still produce the same result, but I wouldn't have to purl a row. So anyway, I don't know. This is I knit it as a chemo cap. I have a family member who is being treated for breast cancer, so I thought it'd be nice to knit her a hat. And actually, I think this Tuesday is her 53rd birthday. So birthday hat, chemo cap, all of the above. And I've been told she likes this kind of tealy blue color. It may or may not be coming up right, but the yarn is Lion Brand Kobu, which is 50% cotton and 50% bamboo. It's really, really soft. So originally, and it's a DK weight. Originally, I was going to knit the barley hat, which I've knit before. Although I think I did the barley light version, which is fingering. And so I cast it on, and just due to the gauge, the yarn was too thin. I'm not used to working with cotton. It just doesn't bloom like a wool does. So anyway, I had to rip that out. I had like all the ribbing and like probably 2 inches done. So I ripped all that out and then had to start all over. So I was searching for a pattern that I thought would be good because from my understanding, the skin gets much more sensitive with chemo and maybe painful. So you want it to be soft. You don't want it to be tight. Yeah. Anyway, this hat had almost 12,000 projects on Ravelry, and I've never heard of it. I don't even know how that's possible, but I gave it a go. And honestly, I would knit it again. I'm going to try it on so you can see what it looks like. I did not mean for this to be slouchy, but it is. Hopefully you guys can see the back of my head. My hair's all a mess anyways. So yeah, it's a bit slouchy, but it has a lot of give, so it's not going to be tight. The pattern said, which it's a free pattern if you're wondering, it said to knit to 9 inches for slouchy and between 7 and 8 for not slouchy. So I went for 8. And like I said, it's still slouchy. Hopefully this person will wear a slouchy hat. I think they might. And if not, it's the thought that counts, I think. I like it though, honestly. I haven't, oh geez. Oh wow. Nothing like trying a hat on at the very beginning of a podcast to make yourself look good, right? Anyway, I have another skein of this yarn, exact same color, everything, because I wasn't sure how much I was going to need. And I kind of want to knit another one, but not right now, maybe later. I didn't look that good before I put the hat on, so it's okay. Isn't this the cutest mug? I can't remember if I showed it or not, but that says Mrs. I know it's like glaring, it's hard to see, but it's a little, is it a llama? Alpaca? I don't know. It's something in a scarf and it's cute. Okay, I also have a half object. I didn't expect for that to happen either. I finished one of my heel-toe do-si-do socks. That is a bit big for my sock blocker, but it fits my foot. What to say about this? Heel Toe Do-Si-Do is a pattern by Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. And the yarn, I have the yarn because I don't remember what it is. The yarn is King Cole Zigzag. I do remember the color name, color name. It's Christmas. So these were my Christmas Eve cast on. Yeah, I'm happy to have one finished. I will be even happier when I have a pair because these will be going in my Christmas box of socks. It'll be like pair number 3 or something. I have a long way to go. I did just barely get the second one cast on here. And when I say just barely, I mean just barely. It's maybe 3 or 4 rows of ribbing. I thought I was going to be working on this at knit night the other night, and I showed up, and there was a sign on the door that said, "We're closed for inventory," so that didn't happen, but that's all right. All right, moving right along today. The next work in progress I have is my Northeasterly blanket. And since it's been 2 weeks since I podcast, I've finished 2 more sections. This white one, which has orange and black. I don't remember the dyers. I'm not going to remember, but they are tagged on my Instagram page if you're curious. But I do remember that this one was called He Was Made of Snow, which is a Frosty the Snowman reference, which I think is so cute. And this one is called Chestnuts Roasting. It's just very pretty, and I like how the oranges pick up on the oranges here, so totally not planned. I am just knitting my Sock Yarn Swappers 5-gram minis in the order that they came in. And as I said, I had 2 finished, and that's because it's been 2 weeks since I podcast, and my goal is to finish 1 5-gram mini a week. So I'm making progress. And I have another work in progress. I think, yes, I definitely showed this last time. This, which looks like a huge mess right now. I haven't woven in the ends yet. This is my faded temperature blanket, I think is the actual name of it. It'll be down below. But it is a temperature blanket using the high temps for the year so far. So this is up to date as of yesterday. And I like it. It's getting bigger. I feel like, you know, when you look at this and January's almost over, I don't know how big this thing's going to be, but I do know it's going to grow pretty quickly because I'm already up to, I think, 51 stitches. That sounds right. By the time I'm done with January, I know I'm up to 61 stitches, so it's growing pretty big. I'm using a 4mm G hook to crochet that. And yeah, I'm not using, like some people use a rainbow. It's weird. Like I'm just using scraps, things that I have in my stash that have no other purpose. And the first half of the temperature gauge is kind of these neutrals, and the upper temperature range are going to be brighter colors. So we had one random high temp day of like 62, and the rest of these have all been significantly cooler. I think gray is somewhere between like 40 and 50. Tan is, no, did I get that wrong? Gray is 50 to 60. Tan is 40 to 50. The white must be in the 30s. We did have a bit of a cold streak, and we thought we were going to get snow, but we didn't. I really wanted snow. Okay, so that leaves the big daddy, the ongoing 12 at a time box of socks. So I'm going to try and show this to you without making a big mess. But there are the current state of my 12 socks. I have done 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing and 30 rounds of the leg so far. So each sock has 50 rows of knitting. I think that's pretty good. Except for when I think about the fact that my sock legs, before I start the heel, are about 110 rows. So I have a ways to go. I did do a little math though, and using my normal sock of 20 rounds of cuff, 90 rounds of leg, and about 85 for the foot, so not counting the heel and the toe, this is 600 rows of knitting, rounds, whatever you want to call it, 600 rounds, which would be the equivalent, not counting heels and toes, of 3 finished socks. So when I look at it that way, it doesn't feel quite so much like I'm not making progress. This pattern here is called the Red Robin socks. This one is String of Lights. This one here is the Simple SKYP. The Rye Light. Heel Toe Do-Si-Do again. And Vanilla Latte. So hopefully you had a good look at those. I am not finding it difficult to do the patterns at all. And you know what, if you guys haven't watched the other episodes, I'm just going to say I did talk about this more last episode, so number 46, and I have a whole separate video that is dedicated just to this project, how I got started, how I set up my yarn, how I flip the box so it doesn't get tangled, because believe it or not, I still don't have any tangles. Oh, and I don't know if you can tell, I wove in the ends. So weaving in the ends was a really good thing. It never got tangled. I haven't had any knots, nothing like that, but it makes it less fiddly to flip them around. Because when you do, the tails of the yarn would just kind of get in the way. So yeah, the project's going really well. Renee Rockwood, that's one of the girls who I saw working on this project. She literally just finished her first 12 at a time socks and she posted about it. She also has a knit along group in Facebook, or on Facebook, where I'm not sure what you can search, but probably just look under Renee Rockwood, or she's calling hers Dozen at a Time, or DAAT. Find her, and her group is really motivational if you want to knit along and do that. They have people doing 2 at a time for the first time, 4 at a time, 6 at a time, so you don't have to do 12 at a time. But hopefully my video will help you as well kind of get started on that. The process can seem kind of daunting until you really get going. And I feel like I have a really good rhythm with it now. It does still take time to go all the way across, but I do really enjoy having variety in color and variety in pattern. It seems to make it feel at least like it's going by faster. Well, that is all the knitting. So I guess let's talk about a little bit of life. I mentioned last podcast I was just feeling stressed out. I'm still kind of feeling stressed out. I don't know. Things just feel think it's winter, to be honest. I don't know. But I have made a very big decision. I have decided to apply for a master's program. And the program that I've applied for, because I have already applied, is completely online, and it's from University of San Diego. So those of you who don't know, I was in the Navy and I was in San Diego. So do you ever kind of feel like things come full circle, or like they're almost meant to be? It sounds really weird, I know, but I looked at another master's program earlier last year, and I started the application and I got going with it, and I never submitted the application. I even talked to somebody on the phone. Like, once I delved a little bit deeper, the program was still related to my job. It would have been good. There's no reason why it wouldn't have, but for some reason, I just felt like it wasn't a good fit. So I told them I wasn't comfortable with it, and I didn't do it. And then I was at a training for work the other day, and University of San Diego gave a little spiel about this program that they thought was suited for the people in my training. And it's kind of like a light bulb went off. It's like, okay, this is the reason I was supposed to be at this training. I was supposed to hear about this because I had searched online master's programs in, the field that I was looking for, and I was just not really coming up with much. I found something at Arizona State, but again, like, it just didn't really fit. And so I talked to that guy during a break and got some more information. And let's see, that was literally last week. I already have my application in. I've gotten all my grade stuff in, which is crazy because I've been to like 8 different colleges. Long story. I haven't actually been to any of them, but when I was in the Navy, they had what was called distance courses. And so while you were on the ship, you could actually take college classes. But like, a college would offer 1 or 2 classes. So to take a variety of classes, you were taking them from all different kinds of colleges. So it becomes really interesting to have to request all those transcripts. Luckily for this one, because I do have my bachelor's, they only had to request it from the college where I got my bachelor's. So that's nice. That's really nice. But I'll be honest, I had no idea kind of how competitive or like narrowly focused a master's program is. I mean, it makes a ton of sense, but I'm used to colleges where if you've always gotten good grades or academically you take a test and you fit in, then you can just get in. As long as you have money to pay for it or someone's paying for it, then they don't really care. They're like, give us your money. This master's program is very different. I had to write a statement of purpose or a personal statement. They're called different things. The hardest part about that was I was only supposed to have 300 words, and I'm kind of long-winded. I know you probably don't think so when I'm doing a podcast because talking, I'm pretty to the point. But when I write, I would say I'm a much better writer than I am a speaker. Anyway, 300 words was not happening. I got like 400 and something, and I could not narrow it down anymore. And I had to put in this statement, who I was, why my background fits this program, what what I was hoping to learn, what I was hoping to gain, and what I had to offer the other students and the instructors in these classes. And you try and do that in 300 words, unless I'm making like a bullet point list, which I don't think is what they wanted. That just wasn't going to happen. So I got that in, and I wrote a second essay, which was supposed to be 350 words. I think mine's 522, which is for a scholarship. So as if I needed any more incentive or motivation to be on a yarn shopping ban, I have found it, because this 20-month master's program is going to cost me over $1,000 a month. So I hope I get the scholarship. It's only up to $2,500, but that will get me through 2.5 months of school. So yeah, it's a lot of money. And people have asked me, why am I doing it? And I will say that I hope to move up in my career field. That's why. Is it necessary? It probably isn't for what I do, depending on the job. But I'm hoping, having to write a resume on these statements and essays made me realize that I have a lot of experience. You know, you go about your day to day, and I'm just me. I'm a little old me. In my mind, I'm nobody special because I've done all these things. Like, if I were to list all the things I'm talking about, you'd probably be like, holy crap, you know? But to me, it's just me. No big deal. And so to have one more thing kind of on the resume that might put me ahead of someone else applying for a job, well, I think that would be really fantastic. And this master's program feels like it's going to be really applicable to what I want to do, which is awesome because I can't say the same for my bachelor's degree. My bachelor's was completely worthless. And it's in my career field. I will say I was a pretty decent writer before my bachelor's degree, but it definitely helped me with my writing skills. But yeah, as far as content, it did not help. So this sounds very different, and I'm excited for that. So we'll see. I'm nervous. I won't hear back for quite some time, I think. And the scholarship, I won't hear back for even longer because if I get accepted, it's to start in May, which is their summer semester. So yeah, if you are into like sending positive vibes or praying or whatever, then I would take it all because I hope I'm right in thinking that this is the right thing and the right thing to do, and I'm hoping I get in. But I do know that I can always quit if I don't like it, so we'll see. Anyway, I hope it's the right decision. Life can be so hard making these decisions and knowing what to do and what not to do, but I feel like it's the right thing. So anyway, what else? Oh, that's the big life thing. I don't really have too much else. My car's supposed to be going to the shop on Tuesday to finally get looked at from when I was rear-ended on December 26th. So that will be good. Hopefully I'll have my car back in working order real soon. I mean, it's fine. I can drive it now. It just doesn't look very nice. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day whenever it is that you're watching this. And just know that I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the time that you spent here with me. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.